Welcome to another Thursday night Bible study. Thanks for joining us on today. I am Senior Pastor of Higher Ground Christian Center Church, Pastor Sherrick Anderson, and I'm excited to be with you today. And on today, we are going to do something slightly different since today we're winding down Black History Month. And so today I decided to be my ancestors' voice, and we're going to talk about Black history today. But on next week, you definitely want to join us on next Thursday. We are going to be talking about something that's really, really good that's going on, so you don't want to miss next Thursday. And so today, I want to talk about a piece of Black history, because the thing about it is, around this nation, it has become an emergency because a lot of Black history, first of all, is not being taught. It is a lot because Black history is history. And I know we labeled the month of February to be Black history, but history is history. And so a lot of history that details a lot of achievements and things that has to do with Blacks since we've been here since 1619 gets omitted. And it doesn't get taught. And I say it's an emergency because now laws are being passed that bans books that teach the simplest of Black history. I mean, they're banning the books mainly in the southern states. They're banning books on Ruby Bridges. Brown versus Board of Education, Ruby Bridge. I mean, yeah, things of that nature. Simple books because history, if don't nobody know history, then the generations that don't know history, you'll never know what achievements was made. And so today I want to talk about something in Black history that you may or may have not known, but a lot of people don't know, and that is the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty, which is located in the state of New York, is one of the most recognizable symbols in the whole entire world. Well, let me give you some history, some true history on the Statue of Liberty. Now, the Statue of Liberty was donated to the United States by the country of France. And it was authorized to be sculpted in 1865. Sound like a familiar year in Black history, doesn't it? Well, it should. 1865 is when the Civil War ended, and the amendments to the Constitution were made that 13th, 14th, and 15th, with the 13th freeing anybody Black that was once enslaved. They are now free. And so France, as a gesture of that freedom, wanted to donate a statue to the United States of America. And so it was authorized to be sculpted by two men, Augustus Bartholdi and Edward Laboulaye. And both of these men were eager to sculpt this statue and give it to the United States because of the fact that the United States had ended slavery, and this was the present that France wanted to give to the United States. And so it was a present basically to the United States for them ending slavery. Now, it was sent originally, the Statue of Liberty was the Liberty Torch in her right hand, and in her left hand was a broken chain and shackle, signifying that slavery had ended. But the United States said, no, that's, we've had enough. The war ended, and we don't want to rub it in people's faces too much. We want to try to get the country back, so let's put a book in her hand with Roman numerals signifying 1776, when the United States won the Revolutionary War and was supposedly Independence Day, or what we celebrate now as the 4th of July. And so when the Statue of Liberty came in, I think, 3 pieces. And so when it came, she originally was supposed to be holding the torch, which signified liberty and freedom, and a broken chain with shackles signifying freedom, that the enslaved black people were free. Okay, United States said, no, let's put this book in her hand. But Bartholdi, who was the main sculptor, said, no, this is the way we wanted it to be. And so the United States more or less said, well, it's here now, we're going to put that book in. He said, no, we're going to try to rescind this gift. And they said, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll keep the chains. Now, if you ever see a picture of the Statue of Liberty, it sits on a high pedestal. But what they did is they kept Bartholdi's wishes by keeping the chains and shackles, but they're down at the feet of the Statue of Liberty, where her feet were, because it shows her feet as she's stepping into a whole different realm of life. And so basically the shackles and chains are hidden in plain sight, is what they are, because you never pay attention to the base and the feet. Even if you did, you wouldn't even see the shackles from the pictures that they show. So most of the time when you see the Statue of Liberty, it shows her most of the time from her kind of waist up, and you see her holding the book and that. And so the Statue of Liberty, if you were like me in high school coming up, you think the Statue of Liberty was built for the immigrants that came in from Europe, the European immigrants, mostly Irish and Italians, that because it said, give me your poor, your masses, your huddled masses, and I'll give them liberty. You would think that it was built because it was instructed, the Statue of Liberty, to be built in 1865. It was actually finished in 1886, and what we now know as Ellis Island, with the Europeans coming in, started around 1892. So it was authorized to be built in 1865 to signify slavery, but most people associate the Statue of Liberty with Europeans coming in through Ellis Island, but that is not what the Statue of Liberty was built for. America has been very hypocritical when it comes to history, that the black contributors and all of the history that pertains to black people. And so the Statue of Liberty, all that has been distorted to thinking it was just for people coming in through Ellis Island. Well, I got another something for you. Okay, it was finished in 1886, and people started coming through what we now know Ellis Island in 1892. Well, right around the turn of the century, 1900, you had millions, and this is some more history that you think, millions out there in Facebook land, say millions of people of color coming from Africa and the Caribbean islands, which is Jamaica and the Bahamas, all of them, they came through Ellis Island. They came here the right way. I know this back in November you elected a president that kept saying they're coming in here illegal. And people think that all, most people of color, black people come through here. They came through here illegal. They snuck through. No, millions of people came through Ellis Island. If you ever go to New York and you visit the Statue of Liberty, all you got to do is look at a registry. Because everybody that comes through Ellis Island that ever you had to register. And it is millions of black people that came through Ellis Island from Africa and the Caribbean. Harry Belafonte, his family, Sidney Poitier, their families. These families came in the right way. But you would be led to believe that black people coming in this country, they very first came on the bottoms of slave ships or they snuck in here. That's a lie. Millions of them came in the right way. Now, some of them did come on slave ships, and that's what the statue, when Bartoli and La Boule built the statue and they wanted the chains in the left hand, signified the shackles that we came in on through slave ships were now broken and everybody is free. That is true history of the Statue of Liberty and everybody who came through Ellis Island. So millions of blacks came in here the right way. That's how New York got full of them. They did do the great migration, came to New York with the New York, they called it the New York Renaissance, but millions came in legally through Ellis Island. It was far more Europeans that came, but it was a good number of people of color from Africa and the Caribbean country that came through Ellis Island through the Statue of Liberty. And so a lot of things get watered down, and that is why it is important for black history to be taught. If they don't teach it at schools like they're supposed to, it is time for it to start being taught at home, or either as far as our churches go, we're going to have to start having classes to teach it in our churches if that's what's necessary. Because black history and the contributions that black people made must be known. Because if you don't think now you just take into consideration as we get ready to go how good that made me feel when I know that one of the most recognizable masterpieces, you have the Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower, that sort of thing, was made for me and my people, my ancestors. They were made for, the Statue of Liberty was made to signify that my ancestors were free. That made me all of a sudden look at the Statue of Liberty totally different. That makes me, I've never been to the Statue of Liberty, but now it makes me want to go. Makes me want to go. And so it makes me feel proud. And the significance of that is that they don't teach that in your history when you go to school, because you might ask the question, first thing you may ask the question, if you saw those chains, okay, why is she holding the chain? Why are those? Because if you ask the question, what is the significance of those chains, you would have had to explain it. But if we hide the chains, this is America's point of view, if we hide the chains at her feet, nobody will really see those chains and shackles. It's both chains and shackles. Then you won't have to answer questions as to why those chains and shackles are there. But now that you know, for those of you who have kids and they have history, tell them to ask their history teacher what originally was the Statue of Liberty built and what was its meaning. Because, and see if they tell you the truth. Because that is the true meaning of why the Statue of Liberty was built and sent to America as a present for freeing slaves, that everybody in this country can be free, because Francis' state of mind that everybody in the world should be free. As a side note, not only was did they send it over here with the Liberty Torch and the broken chains, but she also had what they call a pileus. A pileus is a hat that in Romans, when the Romans was ruling the world, the mighty Roman Empire, whenever a slave or indentured servant was set free, they would give them as a gift a pileus, which was a cap that was worn, signifying you were once a slave, but now you are free. And when they sent the statue, they sent her with the torch, the broken chains and shackle, and a pileus. But of course, America didn't want the pileus, and they didn't want the broken chains, and so thus we see the crown that we see, and we see a book in her hand that has the Roman numerals signifying 1776. And there you are, the story of the real, true story of the Statue of Liberty. And anything I say, always Google it, because now you can Google it and it will tell you the truth about the Statue of Liberty. And so I want us to all make sure that we are praying for each other and praying for this country, because our country is kind of, if I could put it this way, a powder keg that's about ready to explode. And it's going to take a prayer for a lot of things. As people of color, I've been noticing a lot of protesting have been going on all around the country since the person. First of all, I'm going to say this. One of the most disrespectful things happened at the White House a week or so ago, and that's when Elon Musk did one of the most disrespectful things, because he already had said he doesn't respect America. To him, he always has said America was a joke. But when everybody who voted for Donald Trump and he got elected, you didn't realize you was getting Elon Musk, who's the real president. But one of the most disrespectful things was Elon Musk had his son in the Oval Office for when they were having the news media there, and he had him in there playing romper room. And for those who don't know what romper room is, it's like daycare. His son is in there playing with his toys, playing on his neck. But one of the most disrespectful things that happened is that little kid told Donald Trump, "You shouldn't be sitting in that chair. You're not the president. You're not the one who's the president." Where that little boy hear that from, except he's been hearing it from his daddy and his daddy's family. And that was the most disrespectful thing you can have, was a little kid coming in there, playing romper room, playing like he in a daycare, but then tell the man that's supposed to be the president of the United States, you shouldn't be sitting in that chair. You're not the president. Disrespectful. But this is what we're in for. And so it's a lot of protests going on. And I've noticed in the news, I don't watch much news, but I do watch some because it's syndicated shows, because you still need to know what's going on from reliable sources, news, and a lot of white people are kind of calling out people of color, like, where are you? You're not out here protesting. They had a big protest with a lot of the Hispanic population in Atlanta, Georgia last week, and you've had a lot of people out there protesting that they've lost their government jobs, and they're kind of wondering, black people, where are you? Why are you not here protesting? We ain't coming out there. We're not coming out there, because had you listened to the almost 96% of black people that said, we see what's coming down the line, but you didn't. You focused on Donald Trump and his hatred rhetoric, where in all reality, you might not be like Elon Musk, who's a white supremacist. A white supremacist don't care if a black person lives or dies, preferably dies. But what we did find out is a lot of people in white America are prejudiced, which means you don't necessarily want black people to die, but you want to always make sure you on top. And so your prejudiceness caused you not to vote for Kamala Harris and vote I mean, both sides were flawed. Y'all heard me say that. Both the Republicans and the Democrats were flawed. But we knew what we were in for with Donald Trump. You all did, but you tried to pretend like you didn't. And so, no, we're not coming out there protesting, because the minute black people come out there and protest, that's when it's going to get noisy, because we heard Donald Trump when he said any protesting that goes on is going to be met with violent force. Those were the words that came out of his mouth. So as long as white people are protesting, it's quiet. Soon as black people come out there, that's when violence going to start. There's going to be a lot of killing. We smart enough to know what's going on. We've been here before, so we'll just survive like we do and do what we do and make strategic plans. And so, America, it is time to pray. Everybody, I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, we'll pray. We're going to pray from the sidelines, but we're going to definitely be praying that God intercedes without a whole lot of chaos happening. But it's praying time. It's praying time. This country is on the brink of a powder keg. You have Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and I'm going to say this and we're going to leave. It's one somebody who never gets mentioned, but he has played the biggest part in this whole situation, from the Middle East, that fight and all that fighting breaking out in Gaza between the Palestinians and the Israelites. And that's Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. If you remember, and I'm going to bring it back to your attention, Jared Kushner, the first time Donald Trump was in office, took $50 billion to the Middle East. And that was the last we heard of him. But he's the ambassador over there to the Middle East. He took $50 billion. All of a sudden, in Biden's third year, some stuff break out with the Palestinians. Okay, how did they get money to get all those arms? How did they get money to fund the weaponry that they used? Okay, yeah, wasn't a coincidence. And so now, since he's been president, there's no telling how many billions of dollars is going over there, because Donald Trump and Elon Musk had already said they don't care about middle-class people. They only care about billionaires and trillionaires. They don't even care about millionaires. And so, food for thought. You never hear about Jared Kushner, but yet he has billions and trillions of dollars over there in the Middle East. So, yeah. But anyway, it's time to be praying. Elon Musk does not care about the United States. He laughs at the United States. That's why he's raping and pillaging all of the resources that he can. And that's why it's in time to pray. But there you are. Facts about the Statue of Liberty. Facts about what's going on in our country. It is time for the saints to pray. Sometimes God has to do something to make you fall on your knees and pray. And so maybe this time, Paula White, I don't hear her dispatching angels to come help clean up this mess that's being started. Yeah, I don't hear nobody rebuking nobody no more, because it's time as people, real people of God, to get together on one accord, just like in that upper room, and begin to pray. Amen. And so with that, on next week, got some real good stuff for you starting out the month of March. So you definitely want to tune in. But until we meet again, know that I love you. I love you. I love you on behalf of myself, the entire Higher Ground Christian Center Church family, and that beautiful, 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 beautiful first and only Lady LaHome.